Alright, I've got a question and maybe a couple comments for Chronicles of the Shady. And I also have something that I agree with Cletus on. Clue, not so much. But hey, maybe there's room for improvement here. Maybe Cletus is the voice of reason.
This video is fair use. It is transformative and is protected under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is needed for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, reporting, teaching, and more.
Alright, so this is Chronicles of the Shady, and I'll give you a little history lesson here. It'll be brief, don't worry. But Chronicles has been in support of Brittany J for a little while now. I'm not sure where that came from or how that happened. I can't say that I don't have my suspicions as to why that happened. It is what it is. Shady one day just started not liking me. I also really wasn't into her newfound opinions and newfound friends and coverage, and all of a sudden it just seemed like she was a green team cheerleader, and I personally can't understand how anyone would want to cheer for that green team, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so maybe she felt that coming, and I'm just speculating here. And then she blocked me, so there's that. We were always able to get along in the past. We agreed to disagree, and all of a sudden we just couldn't anymore for some reason. And that's on her, because I was perfectly fine to go forward agreeing to disagree on things that were even kind of major in my opinion. But I mean, we're adults, and coexisting really shouldn't be that hard. Obviously, everyone has a choice whether they want to block someone or not block someone. My issue has always been, if you're going to talk about that person and then block them, that's just kind of a P-A-M. It's a PAM. It's a pussy-ass move. It's shady AF. Well, yeah, and it's kind of your name. But I'm a respectful person. I will have conversations with pretty much anyone because I feel like we can learn from pretty much anyone. Anyway, I wasn't rude to her. I wasn't a dick. I didn't do anything that I know of, but all of a sudden, she had a comment of mine in one of her videos, and I was basically just saying that even though I'm not really a huge fan of nonsense, I was still saying that nonsense was attempting to cut out parts of BJ's kids in the clips that she was sharing. Did I say she has done it every single time? No, I didn't. I was speaking about that specific video. But anyway, Chronicles wanted to call that out, and then the queen of not much context wanted to block me right after, so I couldn't respond. And for those who follow my channel, you all know that that's my most favorite thing. Alright, let's get some context to the video that we're about to show and review. I'm really not trying to jump on that train. This is not a BJ video necessarily, but it is going to have some BJ, I guess, content in it for context and to explain part of what I'm talking about. So let's get a move on here. Sorry for the long intro, but you know, context and all. So this is a video that Shady made about Cluminati, and I think it was from just a couple days ago. Let's take a look. Let's see which one it is. Yeah, there she be. That's the one right there. It's a short, so I'm not going to play all of it. You can go watch the full video over on Shady's channel, but let's go over it. I will talk about the beginning part, and then I'm going to play the end. Alright, I'm going to break this video down into two parts. The first part is going to be the text that's on her screen, like what she wrote in the video. And the second part is going to be what I play, and that's Clue's part, where she's speaking, and the part that I actually agree with Shady on. So there is a part where I agree with you, Shady. That's when Cletus comes in, and yeah, we'll go from there. So here's your little context background. Let's first read what it says on the screen here. And that's the Brittany part. And after that, it's going to be about something completely different. And that's regarding Clue. So let's just do it. So maybe I'll just read the whole thing first, and then I'll read it again and we'll dissect it and discuss it. All right, here we go. Toothless Cletus puts his mouth to the mic and said, in quotes, "If Brittany didn't respond, we wouldn't talk about her. But here these losers are, as always, going over her true crime. Just like the others, liars. And Jay, you are so sensitive. And damn, this hog showed Dylan's house a victim, SMH. All right, well, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with the toothless comments. Now, Shady, you and I both, well, we don't show our faces on here. We're just avatars. Does that give us the right to make fun of someone else? Their teeth, their looks? No, I don't think it does. That's just my opinion. I know other people may not feel the same way, but that's just my opinion. So let's stop with that. I know I personally have friends with teeth and I have friends without teeth. And I like them all the same. Their teeth don't make them who they are. So there's that. Now let's move on from that. Now here's the part I'm most interested in. If Brittany didn't respond, we wouldn't talk about her. And then it moves on to, but these losers are, as always, going over her true crime. Just like the others, liars. Well, clearing my throat. In my opinion, that's the most important stuff we should be going over. Were you here and around last night? Did you witness the streams that she did, calling them true crime? Shady, I know good and well that there's no way that you agree that that's good true crime or true crime at all. It was nasty, it was disgusting, and it was horribly done with misinformation spread. Each new live stream that she started got worse and worse and worse. I don't know how you're going to stand up for this, and so this video kind of didn't age well for you. Did you hear the misinformation, the BS, and all the other things that she let slide as her panel guests continued to spread misinformation? And she laughed and oh and ooh and ah. It wasn't until her chat, her members and supporters started calling her out that she realized. So why doesn't she realize? Well, I'll tell you right now, it's a pattern. She's been doing this for years. This is not true crime. And this is why, Shady, I don't understand why you support this girl. How is that even possible? You came out here calling out tragedy pimps, and you did a great job back then. Now I'm just confused because now you stand up for, you white knight for, you have no problem standing up for BJ. And that's fine on some things, in my opinion. I mean, I personally don't agree with the tag team back again. Let's review her all day long. Honestly, it sucks. But it also is annoying because I don't want to hear the same things in the community that I kind of hang out in. I don't want to hear that same stuff over and over and over and over again. Not to mention, it kind of becomes, I'm not going to say the word bullying because people are just reviewing her. But when you have a pack of people constantly attacking, then yeah, it does become in that bullying type department, okay? It's technically reviewing and you're reviewing someone's stream, but when there's so many people doing it and then purposely passing it to the next, but then they're literally reviewing the exact same stream that we just heard reviewed by someone else, and then it happens like 5 more times, 7 more times in that same day. For me, yeah, it's just too much for me, personally. That to me is just on another level, and it's, for me, I just wouldn't want to do that. That's all. To each their own, review who you want, I get it. It's just not for me. I actually enjoyed the Jeopardy game from the other night when Jay had Jeopardy on her panel. That was cool. Something different and something else to listen to and enjoy that didn't involve BJ. Well, too much anyway. Now, I'm still on the same part here where it says, if Brittany didn't respond, we wouldn't talk about her. Well, the problem is, she's still responding constantly. She still lies about these people. She still calls these people names, makes fun of them. So she's joining in. I mean, how can you expect her not to respond? And how can you expect them not to respond? Like, it's going both ways. And BJ's playing the victim. She always has. I don't know if she wants this. It seems like she does, though. It seems like she's setting herself up to be a victim. Money over morals. But I also have to say that people are helping her be that victim. If people didn't talk about her constantly, then she wouldn't have anything to complain about. Sometimes in these situations, it's better to ignore, ice them out, and just be done. But I do completely understand when she lies on you or your children. I get that. That's something that's hard to just not respond to. I think everyone's talking about everyone's kids, and it's never going to end if someone just doesn't stop. So someone's got to stop here. And Craig, you need to shut the flying fuck up. You are gonna slowly burn that channel down. Well, with BJ's help, of course. You're not alone in that. You're both burning it TF down. Shit, sorry. I got off on a little tangent there. Let's get back to business. So my point was, Shady, that these people reviewing her true crime content, which in my opinion is not true crime, it's true garbage, that is what we came here for. I know that's what you were doing when I first saw you. Now you're not doing that so much. You're just kind of white knighting for Brittany. Now, in order to be fair here, I haven't been around as much lately, partly due to the Sebastian Rogers community and how sick that all made me feel, all of it. And I didn't really want to get involved. And hey, maybe Shady was feeling the same way, I don't know. But then, unfortunately, I did become unwell for a while. There was a few months there where things were kind of scary. So, honestly, and just being honest with the people who are listening, I wasn't really able to make content around that time. So, 2 parts to that though. Did I want to? I don't know if I even would have if I hadn't been under the weather like that. But anyway, just wanted to be transparent about that time period. Anyway, that was despicable. Last night was disgusting. There was 1, 2, 3 live streams where she was attempting to restart and redo the true crime streams. And wasn't this whole night like a redemption night from the night before, which was also disgusting? How can anyone stand up for any of that? Aren't these victims supposed to come first? I think so. And that leads me into the next part that I don't agree with either. But I do think Cletus had some important points to make. So let's take a listen to Shady's video. And this is the part I would like to talk about. Okay, I'm trying to figure out timestamps with shorts, but it doesn't really say, at least on my phone. So I'm showing you that little red line and where I'm starting this video from so that you can go back and get all the context you want. But it really did start like a kind of brand new conversation right at this point. So I just wanted to show you where it was. You can check it out from there. I will leave the link in the description as always.
Saint Outlaw, thank you for the super chat. If an address becomes public, we can look at the house. See, and that's where I like, do I have to apologize for that? You know what I mean?
Well, this is just my opinion, but yes, I think you should apologize because Dylan was a victim and you showed her house. And I know that Dylan was trying to get away from social media. As far as I can remember, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure she went to her parents' house and she was trying to get away from it all. She had just been through a traumatic experience. And then, of course, some weirdo from a newspaper came up while she was just trying to get a coffee. And then it was spotted. There she was. And yeah, it didn't go well from there. It didn't go well the entire time. These victims have been through hell. So showing their houses online, not a good idea. In my opinion, especially if you're wanting to hang out with people like Burnt Toast. Well, so I used to think. I mean, I thought she didn't stand for things like that. I don't know anymore. I am lost, confused, and this community is in an uproar. And all I know is that in other chats that I used to go in, that I used to mod for, hang out in all the time, we wouldn't stand for something like that. We wouldn't put a victim in that type of situation because we protected victims, or we tried to. We did our best to. I don't know if anything we did even helped, but we at least put it out there that it was a bad idea and that we didn't like what tragedy pimps did, which is stuff like that, in my opinion. But you asked if you should say sorry, and my opinion is yes, because this community is very forgiving. I mean, clearly, obviously, very forgiving. And apologies go a long way. I really think they do.
See, and that's where I like, do I have to apologize for that? You know what I mean? Like there's a crime, you know, like I want to see things. I am, after all, the that literally took my little Google man all around Boise to find Dylan's house. You know what I mean? I lined up a planter. Like, I have to do that. I can't not do that. I'm too fucking nosy, and I have no willpower to tone it down.
And that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. I mean, it's one thing if you didn't show it on the internet or tell people about it, but I'm just saying that's a lot. Doing too much, in my opinion. All right, let's hear what Cletus thinks, because I do agree with Cletus, and hopefully his words have meaning for Clue and others, and I do hope that she listens. Cletus, I think you're a smart man with these words. Keep them coming. It makes sense to me.
I think in terms of what you do, I don't think that'll change. In terms of what you would show, I could see that changing.
Yes. So what I think Cletus is saying is that be a sleuth. Do your research. Find all the things. But it doesn't mean we need to put it out publicly, because what happens is victims end up being harassed. And I'm not saying that's anyone's fault, like, oh, you did this, this, and this, so that's why the victim is harassed. Plenty of other people are doing it. But if we're not involved in it and we don't have any part in it, then it's not our fault. As long as we're promoting not doing it and protecting the victims, the witnesses, the families, I don't know, I think that's at least where I belong. I can't speak for everyone else, only me. There's always going to be that asshole out there. I just don't want to be a part of any of that, and I never have, and that's what I'm here to do, is talk about not doing that. We can do better. Hopefully other people will do better, and we don't have to put out everything that we find out. And I just feel that's important. I'm not the type of person that digs, that's just not me, but I know others do, sleuthing, all the things. I get it. But we don't need to put it out there, especially a victim or a family member or a neighbor or a witness. We don't need to make these people's lives any more crazy and horrific than they already are. That's just what I'm saying. All right, let's get back to what Cletus was saying, and then we're going to hear Clue's response to him.
I think in terms of what you do, I don't think that'll change. In terms of what you would show, I could see that changing. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I'm with Jay on this, right? It's true crime, right? Like, we are all nosy as fuck. If you're not, you shouldn't follow true crime, because it should be, you have a certain level of nosiness to you, you know?
Yeah.
So the way I think is, if you have the need to be that nosy, you don't need to put it out publicly and then make money on it. That's just my thoughts. It doesn't need to be out there. Certain things don't need to be out there. Even if you think someone else is going to find it anyway, still, we don't have to be that person. And this community that I was once a part of, I kind of still am, kind of not sure, depends on the day, but we didn't used to stand for stuff like that. So that's the frustration. And Shady, I'm talking to you too. How in the hell are you supporting what BJ is doing? Especially on her true crime streams. The drama thing, okay, whatever, back and forth. It's still messed up, especially when you guys are all going after each other's kids. That's messed up too. All of it is way beyond a line that we would never cross before, in my opinion. Just my thoughts. I don't know, guys. I'm going to finish out the rest of this clip. It's almost done. And then I'll see you in a minute.
And I'm sorry, like, I have not ever, or had not ever seen anyone, right, looking up Dylan, like, what, I mean, do I apologize for that? I'm not gonna. Finding out that her mom worked for the University of Idaho was super fucking interesting to me. It is what it is. Didn't see anybody else say that, you know? Like, that was, for me in my mind, I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry, but that's something that is interesting to know.
All right, well, there's a lot of stuff I disagree with. I wish I had the original link to whatever stream this was for Clue so that I could send you there to like get the full context, but unfortunately Shady didn't cite her work, so the original stream I cannot find. I'll look again. If I can find it, I will put it in the description for you guys. Yeah, there's just a lot of things I disagree with. So that's for you, Shady. That's for you, Clue, I guess. I'm hoping Cletus's words are going to have a good effect on you. Why your friends, like the people, I shouldn't say friends, but the people that you have been paneling up with lately, they seem to have different opinions on the things that you do. Generally. Well, when it comes to other people anyway. And that's the confusing part. Like, I'm just lost here. I don't get it. What the hell is going on in our community? We don't usually stand for stuff like that. And I do think there's room for change. I'm not even getting into the whole racism thing right now. That is a whole separate thing. Let's just right now speak about victims, families, witnesses, stuff like that. I think they deserve their privacy, their dignity, and I think they deserve not to be attacked all over the internet. And I think they deserve not to have their homes shown and where they're trying to heal. Let's just stay with that for now. I think we have a lot of problems here in this community. I think we've become lost. I think people's children are being used as weapons, and that's not okay on either side. No side. And that's Clue, Queen, Brittany. All of your kids have been used by other people. Not okay. Just like it's not okay for you or anyone to use the victims of a crime and put out their private information, even if it's now public. I mean, come on, what if this was your family? Please, let's do better. I think we can do better, and we can move forward doing better. None of your guys' kids deserve to be brought into any of this. This is like drama, all mixed in with missing children and other tragedies, and that is insane. And then your kids are being used as weapons too. It's not cool, it's not okay. I don't agree with any of it. And I'll say it one more time. Craig, shut the F up. You are actually tanking your girlfriend's channel. It's burning slowly down. And just when we thought it couldn't get any more despicable, last night happened on your panel, BJ. Absolutely disgusting. Shady, your video did not age well. I hope you don't think that she's good at true crime, and hopefully you have something to say about it. And if not, that's okay too, because I don't want to tell people who they need to call out and who they don't need to call out. But when it comes to like the white knighting part and the fighting for who you think is so great, it's just not making sense. It's not making sense for what your beliefs were. And you don't make money on here, so it's not money over morals. So I just don't get it. Make it make sense. Someone's gotta make it make sense. And if it's not making sense, then we should probably start again and just do better. All of us, we can do better. All of us. Myself included, there's always room to grow. So I feel like we can all grow, we can all do better, and can we please just try at least? Not only do we need to be more respectful to victims and their loved ones, but each other's children. Things have gone way too far. It's hard to even want to be a part of this community anymore because things have gone too far. Hopefully, we can do better. That's all I can think of at this point. Toodles. Oh, and P.S. I didn't really address the J for Everyday with Jay comment that was in the video because I didn't really know what it was all about. So since I had no idea what it was about, I just didn't bother addressing it. But feel free to address it in the comments. If you guys know what that was all about, feel free to address it. And please be kind in the comments. Also, one more thing. I noticed after the last YouTube update, somehow I was unsubscribed from like a lot of my favorite channels. So make sure you check this channel and make sure you check all of the other channels that you like, because you may somehow be unsubscribed. All right, that's it for me. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Take care. And happy 4th to everybody who celebrates.